scope of it, the scale of it for television shows and like anything I've ever seen before. It felt like I'm a rock star and I just wanted to embed the bottled feeling of a sad day and finishing in Pino Palladino in a very unique style, almost musical. It makes me wonder what kinds of highly specific notes and direction that I get in between takes regarding my mentor's dialogue. And most see here are Vermont and from Vermont, like maple syrup, and I don't know, the United States of America, and are not well. Yeah, they are, because it's like Shanghai, Suzhou area, and the American embassy on the rooftops. Yeah, and it's all talk about Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. But here in Suzhou, nobody gives 2 cents or no, not 2 cents. I'm not sure what the smaller denomination of the yuan is, but here it's pretty international. Like you can have an enjoyment here at a tea stop or maybe just shopping right here. Look, it's China 5G, yeah, on China Telecom. Oh no, not Unicom. So it's some kind of like Hogwarts faster in a process. And when you own a decision to do Strasbourg and disciples, like very European, and mostly you're just a terrified 17-year-old finishing off rooms with people clipping, doing monologues, and it's like trying not to champagne and Champs-Élysées, Champs-Élysées. Oh, the antler. So yeah, I have no idea. They must have, they've gotten it right most of the time, so they must be able to see something like with people who come in. And I can't explain sense memory and this kind of Suzhou style, like people are informing performances. And there are a lot of Wobe and a lot of Doraemon. I don't know, it's like Sayonara style. So I preface this by, it's craving, and we're all craving, and we don't give into these well-adjusted normals. And my understanding of it is that it's the idea that your body remembers things that your mind might not. And some of you explained to me that there are examples of experiences in snow. And when I was 3 years old, I did not remember any of this. What Snowfly Wine and like sensorials. So drawing upon these experiences sensorially and making something happen for myself. Like sometimes just a feeling, and ultimately it's like a 2 box of things, and you can pretty reliably draw upon Suzhou if you want to evoke Shanghai memories and some kind of emotions. So I feel like there's a little bit of like an echo at the end of it and a layering and the back of the throat kind of feeling, and it's like a Shakespearean. And I perform the Stump and Wolf and theater workshops and academies of music, Broadway and beyond. And what's pound for pound my favorite theater? Maybe Shakespeare, just Romeo and Juliet. It's a lovely story, and it's evoking so many different feelings. Those theaters are all competitive. They're such a fun thing. It's such a fun relationship. Chicago's and forming like this crystal lake kind of summer of the Midwest. And yeah, I love this theater. I grew up seeing seashells in the dolphin, and it's such an intimate space for me. I really am standing on the shoulders of giants and the Mat Arenas and the Titans, and it's my first professional theater production up I really do dang. And exactly, like this is one of these moments, the top of the lungs kind of scream, and like it's good for 18-year-olds, I'd say, like amazing for solo trips. It's a tip from Moscow and like direct flights, Aeroflot. And we're getting into the second act in this Suzhou kind of scenario, and we see where the avenue is. I'm starting to see the home accord shell, the Dionysus approach, and it's still nice though. Like I like the flavors, and they're still enjoyable, the halves. And I talk about a lot of this lowest main and my lower tier quest of home. And be kind of obsessive, she can be kind of intense. And I understand the catch. He really cares about some things and cares none about the intense appreciation. And I hope that I can deliver this to Wong and like all the Samsung devices, maybe Apple iPhone. And there's like Lois Lay and 75% mythology. booting up upon the meeting booth and chiming in, affirming so many different interpretations, both on screen, the silver blade differences in harnesses and the lighters over the years. So there's such a wealth of material to draw from. Of all these forms that arise from 10,000 things, as Lao Tzu said. And yeah, of course, Confucius. And they're right. I know they're sober and responsive to Phil. I'm connecting all the tissues. And I'm making them happy because I bring something new to it as well. And it's a well of newbie energy, yeah. And I think that this is like the nice chaplet on the mountain as I approach the summit of this whole experience. Where's this intersection right after this one? When I dab, I parakeet and the beautiful view from the top of the mountain. So the detail that doesn't get brought up enough is that I whistle from 2 years on a higher note than Mariah, and I tune that low. And it's like acting, wrestling, tonally. So the second part, it's hugely on the improvisation from the Americans on effects, and I'm watching the Coliseum kind of game reality layering upon the real time space in the 5G network. And the junior highs and the senior highs, snowboarding and the French Coliseum wrestling in. Always just been curious about this instruction. For a couple of years in Wisconsin, there's a veneerist icing on the cake. It's very small, and a couple of buddies did it, and I was curious, horrified. It never came to a match until like the very end of my hustling and bustling career. And then I opted for a musical theater performance and all the portals and the central dance, and I imagined what would happen if I doubled down on wrestling. I would have a very different life right now. And that's what would have happened. And it's like going back to high school after doing a micro bakery course, and my popularity might skyrocket after all of this. People know that you've done it. Because truthfully, I wasn't half the man I am right now. I didn't have as much acting talent. I barely made it through school plays. And I was mostly in the chorus because I loved it. And it was insane to think that Eric and I could actually do it. The naivete, and navy blue. So I was acting and hadn't made enough musical at that point. And now this opportunity of being born again. And it's not through Chicago, maybe through Boston. And Chinatown, Boston. Yeah, it's really pretty here. And I know that's like yeah. And things are changing. This is another style that really balances that rhythm back out at this point. And it tastes so great. Really kept first and unkept second. It's a little world awake now, and I'm awake on the same page, same wavelength, currently having moments in my career flow and coming into the scene to have like a cut from a TV show. And if so, that's a painful experience, and that's just the cost of doing business in career. So it's really, really public so far. I can recognize it's a seizure from a better story on the back side of it. And it clears me for the central character. I can't wait. I said wait. And I'm yet to be fired and bounced all over the capacity line. And we all deserve to be central. And it's my mate to be a second personal record for the director shooting scenes in the Mill Paris. Privilege and doing a first season of House I said, and I have been warned that it's a place to do a number of takes, and I don't know how many it is, but I did so many takes of my own and Mark Kelly's Kute and Taipei. It's not enough, and I've never done this kind of seeing through the veil. It was a light behind. At some point, I was just stopping and seeing, which maybe is the point. Maybe there's something to AI and a couple of takes between the files and everything's horrible. And if I'm lucky, I'll push through and something magical will occur.